This is the Hoka Trafa, and a tor is a rocky pinnacle, and the word Trafa, well, that's not an English word, but depending on what language you translate it from, it either means appropriate or it means striking, which I have no idea what that's got to do with this shoe. So as I said, this is the Hoka Trafa, which is a hiking sandal. Now, I've got to be honest, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with hiking sandals, and the reason I got this is because, yeah, guilty, I am a bit of a Hoka fanboy. I just like Hokas. They're just, yeah. And I saw this and I thought, yeah, that could be fun. That could be interesting. I've run loads of miles. No, I haven't run at all in it. It's not designed for running, just kidding. What it's clearly about is if you want a shoe where you can go hiking up trails, or if you want to go somewhere out in the woods and then you want to go on a canoe, or you're going to go through streams, because obviously it has sandals, it's got holes, as my finger sort of pops through there around here, so it's got good drainage, it's comfortable, you can, well, yeah, you can go hiking on a hot day and maybe not have your foot as sweaty as if you was wearing a more chunky all-enclosed shoe. That's kind of, I think, really the brief for it. A couple of details. So you've got a 5mm heel to toe drop. You have a full grain nubuck leather upper, and it has a sort of a quick lace system. Also has, I like this, it's got a little kind of stretchy bit of material here for the lacing system to kind of go under and in, so this bit doesn't flop about, which I like that. That's that, and it's very easy to use. You've got the traditional Hoka R-mat, I say traditional, it's on a lot of their shoes, the R-mat midsole, and then you've actually got a Vibram outsole there with 4mm lugs, which is very chunky and robust, and they're very grippy, so that's great. And you've also got like this neoprene kind of holding part here, which kind of acts a bit like a kind of sock, like a collar, and it has the nice Hoka thing where you have a scalloped sort of recessed part in the sole there, so when your foot is there, if you're looking at this thinking, oh, that's a bit high, the stack height there, that is higher than where your foot will be. In other words, your foot kind of sits within this, a bit like a bucket seat on a car. So actually this outer part wraps around your foot, so it actually feels quite a comfortable, stable platform for your foot to be in. Sizing wise, well, it's a Hoka, so you know, obviously it's not standard at all. Euro size wise, which is what they quote on their website, I would normally be a Euro size 46. This shoe is a 46 2/3, which, yeah, I find that funny as well. So I went up a 2/3 size. I'm trying to keep a straight face as I say that. But by going up a 2/3 size to a 46 2/3, I find this comfortable. So you probably want to go up a 2/3 or whatever, just go up a little bit. And I'm sure you'll do well, or try them on if you've got a local retailer doing them. Just be cautious getting your normal size. For me, going up 2/3 was good. And at that 46 2/3 sizing, this shoe comes in at 371 grams or 13 1/8 ounces. I thought it might have been a little bit lighter, but to be fair, the weight is well balanced. So it's not light, it's not heavy. I mean, it's a fairly robust kind of shoe, although has got holes in it, so it's a sandal. Maybe I was expecting something different. I don't know. Anyway, that's the weight it is. And in terms of flexibility, yeah, it's sort of fairly, it's kind of, I think, what you'd expect. It's got some flexibility. It's got these sort of flex grooves so that it will move around with the ground, which is it's a hiking. It's likely to be not on your traditional flat surface. And you've also got a decent amount of toe protection there should your foot go into any tree roots. So I think your foot would be suitably protected whilst also being open to a degree with the sandal component of it, so that it's not going to get hot and sweaty. And if you do need to go through a stream, the water's going to come out pretty easily. So it's an interesting combination, put it that way. So what's great and what's not so great about this shoe? Things that I like, for a start, the looks. Now I do think that the looks could be a little bit like Marmite. That's what we say in the UK. And if it's Marmite, that means it's either love it or hate it, because most people love or hate Marmite. There's generally no middle ground. I personally like it. It is a bit of a funky thing. It kind of, you know, it's got that look where you wear this and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to go and hike up a mountain and then I'm going to go canoeing. I don't canoe, but that's what the shoe looks like. It kind of looks like you're that kind of guy or woman, and I kind of, yeah. So, and also I think it's the sort of shoe designed to do that. You could go hiking up a mountain in this, and then you could go canoeing in it, and you could do all sorts of things. So it's a very flexible shoe, and it looks that way as well. So I like that. The grip from the outsole, well, I've been sort of traipsing around in this and all sorts of places, and yeah, feels great. Feels very good over all sorts of ground, all sorts of terrain. I've worn it to the shops, and then I've worn it on a days out in woods and all sorts of places. And to be honest, I just kind of forget about it. It just feels like a nice comfy shoe, so no issues there. It's also very comfortable. The scalloped sole is good. Feels nice and secure, feels very stable. The cushioning, it's a Hoka. Obviously the cushioning is good. It's not their softest foam, but it's not hard either. It's a nice Hoka. It's got a nice cushioned feel, which feels entirely appropriate to the kind of shoe that it is. Also, I found the upper, I was a bit worried about, you know, this kind of, you know, nubuck leather, but actually it's very comfy. And I was also worried that because it's not as open as a regular sandal, was my foot going to get a bit hot and sweaty, because I don't like to wear socks if I'm wearing sandals. And no, my foot did not get hot and sweaty. It was good. It was perfect. It was just comfortable. And it also feels like a very robust, sort of solidly made shoe. I can see this being something that's going to last you years and years and years. So yeah, I like that. It feels rugged. But it's not all campfires and marshmallows. What are the things that maybe aren't so perfect? Well, there's not much, to be frank. One thing that does get on my nerves a little bit, this neoprene collar, if you like, that goes around here. When you're trying to get your foot in there, this doesn't stretch much. So even though you might have slackened off the laces, it's easy to get your feet out of it. But getting your foot in there, I've found it a bit of a pain. Although once your foot is in there, it is very comfortable, and then this feels very snug and holds it in place really well. Just every time I want to put the shoe on, it's like, oh, feels harder than it should be. But apart from that, yeah, I haven't got any issues. That's it. I mean, I know I generally do running shoes, and I know this is not a running shoe. And I just got it really because it's a Hoka and I fancied it. But it's actually kind of fun. I mean, it's probably not fun in January. It's definitely not fun in January. But in those sort of hot, sunny days when you don't want to wear your running shoes or trail shoes and you want to go out with your family or, as I say, hiking off somewhere, then this is something you might want to try. I really like it. It's good fun. And it's just a bit different. It gives you a nice alternative to what I perceive as your regular type shoes. So, you know, for doing those kind of hiking, walking activities. Yeah, it's good fun. I haven't got much to compare it with for a grading system. In fact, I've got pretty much 0 to compare it with. So on the basis that there's not much I don't like, I'm giving it 5 stars because I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't, because I like it and I think it does a good job. And I haven't used anything else really to compare it with that I thought was better. So by default, it takes the #1 spot because there ain't an awful lot that I can compare it to that I think's any better. Yeah, I know that's lame. But no, there we go. It's 5 stars, what the hell. And with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.